I have like a technical question about what you were talking about, what it takes to actually, because you seem so natural in the part, like, do you like have to read, I know this is going to sound stupid, but
No,
I know nothing about it. Do you have to read, like, every night what your lines are going to be the next day?
Yes.
And are you able to, like, just, yeah, improvise, be who you want?
I can learn 11 pages of dialogue in an hour.
Wow.
Because of 30 years of acting.
But also when you're, like, I feel like you become the part, right? So.
Well, that's all stuff. Well, how should I answer your question? Just like, I always feel reluctant to talk about the technique of acting, because if you're not an actor, I mean, it's hard for me to imagine that you guys would be interested in it. You know? So I'll talk about it if you want. I mean, this is how you do it. Everything is story. Story, story, story. You can't, as an actor, consider that you playing the part has anything to do with the reason why it's being made. Everything is story. So that's your mindset, okay? So you read it, like anybody would read a story. And you read it, and you read it, and you read it. And then in your head starts to form your participation in telling that story. How your character helps tell that story. The composition of your character within the structure of the script. Okay? Like a painting. If you're a little splashy yellow in the corner, you can't be too bright, you can't be too dull. You have to be exactly right so that you maintain the proper composition.
Like you did with the bug.
Like I did with the
When
bug.
you were describing it.
So that begins your process. How do I make this character interesting? What is going to help tell this story? How does the story influence my character? What does the story say about my character? What do other people say about my character in the story? What is the journey of the character? If you think of the character as a tool to help tell the story, where does that tool, where does it work, and where does it lay back, and where does it work, and where does it lay back throughout the arc of the story? And that brings on ideas. And you start to test those ideas, if those ideas hold up. And so, because I didn't know better for television, I thought that you could act in television just like you could film. And so I started a speech pattern for Goren that was unlike, unbeknownst to me, it was unlike what they were used to doing in television. I didn't know. And because I had gotten complaints from the studio about pausing too much, that dead air on television is not something that's done, that you don't stop talking, and that it's harder for the editors to cut it if you're going to start talking mid-dialogue, and stuff like that. And I was told this stuff, and I just ignored it. You know, the enunciation of words, the movement of your character, you know, would somebody actually bend all the way over to somebody? You know, does that really happen? You know, they start to be like artists. They start to talk to you like they're artists, and you're like, well, and you can talk about it. I don't know if that would really happen. Do you think it would really happen? You know, it's such a joke. And the fact is that came from a character. The character that I was interrogating, the actor kept on putting his eyes down at the table. So I just went down and grabbed his eyes, and that's how the lean started. So what happens is stuff like the lean, stuff like you start to make choices, and then you go home every night when you're into it, and you study your dialogue. And you learn that dialogue word for word, because you do not want to be on set and not have all your words under your belt, because there's going to be a lot of grips and a lot of electricians and a lot of camera guys that are going to be sitting around and waiting for you to get your shit together. And they don't like it.